radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Good evening. Happy Monday. This is Fade to Black. It is April 24th, 2023. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's our AMA. We do this once a month. Ask me anything. So that's what tonight is. A few basic rules, all simple. You can post in the live chat. You can post your questions there. And if you do that in the live chat, put it in all caps so I can see it. It is a very busy night when we do the AMA, so just put it in all caps. And that makes my life easier, even though I don't wear glasses anymore. That was part of the reasons why I did it. But now I'm used to it. So all caps in the chat. And then over on Twitter, hashtag F2B. We have got, let me scroll back here. There it is right there. Post your questions right here. Tonight's our monthly AMA, so you know where to do it. You can bust a move right there. And let's see here. Okay. And so that is there. And where else? Oh, Facebook. Facebook on our radio page. I should have that set up and ready to go. I've never really figured out how to use it. See, there's 12. It doesn't matter. I'm not. We'll see if I can figure that out during the break. And there you go. It's our AMA. Now, we've got 5 nights of shows this week. We have tonight. We have the AMA. Tomorrow night, we have John Ramirez here for the first time. And ex-CIA, very vocal about disclosure and ET and contact and all of that stuff. So that is going on tomorrow night. Big show tomorrow night. Wednesday, Richard Bleepin Dolan is here. And we're going to be talking about the Senate hearing, of course, AARO. And I think there's some similarities a little bit with NICAP and a few other efforts that went on in the past. And we will be discussing all of that in relation to today. So that is Wednesday night. Thursday night, Stephen Bassett is here from PRG, a political activist out of Washington, D.C. He is here in L.A. at the moment. And big days right now for PRG and what they are doing. So Stephen is going to join us. And then Friday night, Mick West is here, and we haven't had Mick on the show for a little bit now, but I was watching some of his comments about the Senate hearing and some of the other stuff that he's been working on lately, and he is the perfect guest to wrap up the week this week because UFOs are in the news. So there's that part. And then today, as we gear up the show and everybody starts posting your questions and you can get all those ready. Big news in the media world / UFO world today in that, I mean, nobody saw this coming. Fox News cut loose of Tucker Carlson, and CNN cut loose of Don Lemon. And now, so you have... Now, Don Lemon isn't quite, the number one guy over at CNN. I suppose that would be a toss-up between Wolf Blitzer and Vanderbilt guy. Man, his name escapes me. Anderson Cooper. So, but Don Lemon is one of their guys, one of their superstars over there at CNN. But also, right, UFOs. I think Don was right there, part of our community and helping us along. And of course, Tucker, now that he's gone, who's left in the Murdoch house to talk about UFOs over there? wow. And but on the same day, done nearly in the same fashion. So I'm going to say this. There, and nobody else is going to say this, all right? And I understand why. I just don't give a crap anymore. I'm too old to give a crap about anything. So I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. This is not a coincidence. How can it be? CNN and Fox News cut loose of their two superstars on the same day, same way. Was there something? Now, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know anything about this. But man, and you look at this and you go, oh, that's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. When somebody were they talking to? Let's just do it on the same day. Let's just do it. Let's just go one for one. We're going to cut loose of one. You cut loose of one. And I don't know. I don't know. But it just seems funky. Right? So I don't know, but now coincidence? No. I just don't know. I just don't know the reasons for it. And maybe we'll never know. That's the other part. But and you know how it is. Tucker's going to land on his feet. Well, not really. Whatever. Bill O'Reilly. Whatever happened to that guy? We could go on the list of names like this. But when you have the number one show and the number one news network, and let me just tell you something, there is no job security out there for anybody. That's it. And you have to just stop and think. I love AMAs because nights like this, I can just get my thoughts out. I don't get to do this often. All I do is ask questions. But here's the thing, with Tucker, you would think, you're pulling $3 million a night. You're number one in all of Cape. You're the dude. You're on the number one network, and so the question, man, I think we need to cut loose of Tucker. Who's going to say that at the table? Number one. Number two, who ran to his defense? Like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. The numbers people, the advertisers, how about the stockholders? Isn't it always the best interest of a corporation is the shareholders, right? And you're going to tank your own stock? I'm sure, so isn't there somebody there that's going to go, I think we have a responsibility to the shareholders. I think it's a good idea to just tank their stock. And here's the other thing with Fox, which is funky to me. Number one guy, highest paid, highest ratings, all of that stuff. And you fire him, but you don't give him like a little farewell show. Do you give him one shot to just come back and say goodbye to everybody? Just out of respect? Or is this just, wow, something else? And then to have the same thing happen, same thing to Don Lemon. Don Lemon let loose today with the public statement saying, man, I had to hear from my agent that they fired me this morning. They didn't even call Don. Hey, Don, man, this is Licked, and I just wanted to, say, hey, man, we got to let you go, and, hope we're still friends, and, and then you always hear it, we wish them the best of luck in all of their endeavors. Thank you for your support over the years. Man, two, wow, just crazy. Your job is never secure. There is any job, really, but when you get into the media world, there's one word that you never use, ever. I'm going to tell you what that word, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This is the word you never use. Vacation. That's it. That's the word you never use. Anybody who is he's got their own program, got their own news thing, and that, or the anchor, the co-anchor, whatever it is, you don't take a vacation ever until you're fired or break both of your legs in a ski accident. But other than that, vacation is not part of your vocabulary. You don't go away, because whoever's going to come in and sit in for you is going to take your job. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. So when you hear about dismissals or people leaving the company, when they say, the network will go, they'll do this press release. Bob Jane is taking a scheduled vacation. A vacation that was already on the books. Yeah, right. That's it. It's over. They're just negotiating your contract. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're figuring out the number on that check that you're going to get. That's it. Vacation. There it is. Little inside info. Little inside poop. All right. Let's get started. Yeah, crazy day. Man, that was a crazy day. I did not see this come. Who's next? Right? Who's next? Oh man, if Tucker can go, everybody. Oh, that's what I was gonna. Who over at CNN? Don. Okay, cool dude. I guess I don't watch CNN and I don't watch this stuff that often enough to really have formed an opinion. But CNN's got a lot of people that can fill Don's shoes. It's not a pressure situation over there. Fox, on the other hand, there ain't anybody. No. Man, I think that was a little quick on the draw, but there may be something else behind it. I don't know. There's what are they going to do? Their prime time. Just wow. Just poof. After they just cut a check for $1 billion. Well, 800 million. Wow. Unreal day in media. Okay, let's get things started. I wanted to start off with this from Renee, and Renee's in the chat, so I have to do this first, or else I get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble with Renee. Is this? She said, I've got a question. So this is her question from Renee, and yes, Renee Newman is in the chat. Everybody can. I'm just letting everybody know she's in the chat. Okay, here we go. From Renee. What do you expect will be the results of ET crash retrieval witness and whistleblower testimony in Dr. Greer and Michael Schratt's historic disclosure conference, the June 12th National Press Club event in Washington, D.C.? That's a great question, Renee. Now, what we need from this, I'll tell you what, I will answer this in a more precise manner after I watch the event. Because it's one thing to have a list of witnesses and stuff like this. What's the evidence that's going to be presented, and how is it going to be presented, and how effective is it? I can formulate an opinion after that. Because if I have to form an opinion before this, I'm going to say if you are going to have crash retrieval witnesses, it's hard to get the press to take notice of this. It's hard unless you are going to go, here's some evidence, check this out, here's this, here's some lab tests, here's this, here's some photographs, here's this, we have, and all of this was taken from or X site, Y site, Z site, and present it that way. That's the most effective way to get the attention. If it's just going to be this, It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. You can make it as sensational as you want, but if it's just all of this without something really, really, I mean, you got to have something evidential. You have to. This is crash retrieval. You just can't have a story, from your uncle that saw, a flying saucer crash on his farm, and a bunch of Army trucks showed up and they threw it on the flatbed truck and rolled it out of town in the cover of darkness. And my uncle says it's true. That's not good enough. You need to, yeah. So I don't know what that's going to be. There's a lot of excellent crash retrieval stories out there that I think are pretty solid. The one in Cave Creek in Arizona, 1958. It's a pretty solid case. But that spot was paved over with concrete. It's now a parking lot today. I think it's still the original concrete that the Army poured back then. But is there witnesses from that? Is there anything left over? So yeah, Renee, it's an excellent, excellent question, but one that really honestly can't be answered until after the event on June 12th. But there you go. Okay. Let's swing this over to the chat room. First up, Michael Mansfield. I have a question. Oh, here, you know what? I have the capability to do this. I have a question that undoubtedly is on the majority of your audience's mind. Namely, what is your opinion, Jimmy, of Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, the recently appointed director of AARO? Okay. Man, that's a tough one. Kirkpatrick's kind of a paradox. I love calling people paradoxes, right? I love calling people paradoxes because you say one thing, then you do another, right? You write one thing and then you say something else. You change things up on the fly and you keep people it's up, it's just like, I don't know which version of Sean Patrick you're going to get at that moment, because the things that were said at the hearing. Now, okay, this isn't the guy in print. This isn't the guy anywhere else, but you actually get to hear the voice and the inflection in the face and the body and all of that. So at the hearing, he said, it's not ET, right? All the evidence that I've looked at, no, it's not ET. So we're looking at this, we're trying to figure this stuff out, but it's not ET. Strange. Makes you question what AARO's mission is, which he tried to be very elegant with at the hearing, did a pretty good job. But that's not the concern. The paradoxical part is that just 2 or 3 weeks prior to the hearing, he did this op-ed piece with Avi Loeb, where they postulated that some of these probes that are being observed and monitored here in the skies on planet Earth may be deposited in our solar system from a mothership. Now, it's like pump the brakes. When that article came out, it was like, wow. And I had said then, what data? Okay. And that's what Kirkpatrick is all about. What data, Avi Loeb, what data are they basing this on? Avi Loeb isn't going to stick his neck out. I know Avi. And he's just pragmatic, man. He's as black and white as it gets. He's a pure scientist with an open mind, but a pure scientist. It's all about the data. And that's all he has ever positioned himself with since the beginning. Give me the data. Let me analyze it. Oumuamua, the book, Extraterrestrial, all based on data. He says in the book, he intros in the book, okay, this is all about the data. This isn't about theories. or a hypothesis. This is just the data. Okay? And what did Sean Patrick testify about in the UFO hearings? About the data. It's about the data. We're collecting the data. We're looking at it. We're trying to figure out what this stuff is. We're looking at the data. We need more data. And so for those two guys, based on data, to write an article like that, you have to think they know something. What is it that they've observed? What is the collection? What are the numbers? What are the sensor details? What are the images? What is it in the data that would motivate you to write an article like that? And that got picked up by the media, and it went all crazy, right? Head of AARO program says alien motherships are dropping off alien probes at planet Earth. Head of Harvard professor, right? We saw all of that go down. And that guy turns around at the UFO hearing and says, E.T. Schmeet. Yeah, it's not E.T. It could be a lot of other things, but no. Oh, you like my Roswell shirt? Look at that. Ron James, courtesy of Ron James. So I'm saying all of this as I wear my Roswell t-shirt. It's like, I don't know which version of Kirkpatrick is showing up at the party. I don't. It's a tough one. I would need to, now I know that many out there want to say that he just works for the man. He's a DOD, career guy, and that he was nervous. I did make note of that, by the way, and that he, right, and he had the classified portion, which I don't even know why that would matter, the classified version of it. I did see the media pick up on his video. Head of AARO program at Senate hearing reveals new UFO video. Wow, I didn't see a new UFO video, but nonetheless, is he just towing the line? Did he come in and say no ET because of blowback that he got from writing the article? Was the article the real Sean Kirkpatrick, or was it the guy that we saw at the hearing? I don't know. I'm perplexed. He's a paradox, but that's a great question, Michael, and thank you for that. Moving on, Audrey May. Let's see here. Audrey May says, hey, Jimmy, I guess my question is, will your voice hold out tonight? It will. You can tell. When it's on, it's on. Tonight it's on. Tonight it is on. Yeah, I really blew it out on that ship. 7 days of fun talking, not shutting up, 7 days, 7 nights. And man, when I got home after the trip, I slept. I got home at noon on Friday, and I slept until noon on Saturday. Yeah. I mean, I left it all on the table. I did. So I come in, popped on the TV. I missed all of my programs, all my shows. And so I got something dialed up, and I woke up at this is not an exaggeration, by the way. I woke up at midnight. TV is like, it's in that mode where stuff is moving around the screen. And I was like, man, where am I? Oh, that's right. I'm back at home. All right. And I've just made it upstairs, and there was a string of clothes. So the next day I woke up at noon. So that's 24 hours, man. I was like noon to midnight. That's 12, midnight to 12 the next day, 24 hours out. And I woke up at noon. I was feeling pretty good, actually, but I had no voice. I remember trying to speak. Anyway, I looked down, and there was, and I'm sure you've done this because my house is spotless clean. Spotless. All right? It's just the way I live. There was a string of clothes from my bedroom door in an arch across the bedroom that ended at the bed. I don't even remember doing it. You know how you walk and you like step on your socks? You step on the toe of your sock and you pull it off. And then you step on the toe of the other one, you pull it off, and you throw off his shirt and maybe your teeth, it hits the ground. This, that, boom, boom, boom. That's exactly. And it was in an arch coming across and ended at the bed. And I just face planted. Yeah. And then woke up with no voice. So, yeah, it took, I was resting all week just to do the show at night. I was, I'm talking. I'm like, hey, man, I can't really talk right now. Yeah, okay. It was like that for a week, just trying to save my voice for the night. And you could hear it go away after the first hour of the show. Second hour of the show, I was fighting it. Now, it's all good now. I can tell. Thank you for that, Audrey. Let's see what is next up. Who is next up in the box? Who is next up? Man, all caps. See, if it's not in all caps, I'm rolling past it right now. I can tell you right now. Man, there's a lot of comments here. Questions in all caps, please. And thank you for that. John Aside is in the house. Bill is here as well. Okay. This is from Carrie Hughes. Carrie Hughes says, hey, any interesting things happening at the bases around you? Well, that's every day. I quit taking notes about a year and a half ago. I just stopped. I mean, I remember the first month that I moved in, first 2 months, 2 months, I did nothing but sit in the backyard with binoculars all day and all night. If I wasn't doing the show, if I didn't have something to do, I was just waiting. Something was going to happen. It was nuts. It was nuts. With things like the U2, all right, the U2 I thought was retired. When I called up my first friend, I said, man, a U2 just flew overhead. Those are retired. No, they're not. Just flew over. No, man, they're retired. No. And so when you see that for the first time and you're an aviation guy like I am, and you see a U2 in the sky and you hear, I've never seen it on TV, never seen one, and now they're over my house like every other day. I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah, because they're flying top secret missions. But anyway, so I stopped doing that. I could just sit in my backyard and see stuff. And it's crazy. So now she wants to know what's happening lately. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday. Now, it's not that interesting. It was very interesting to me. But yesterday, it was around noon. I'm in my Jeep. I'm driving. And I'm heading east on a road, heading east. And if you head east, Lockheed Skunk Works is out there. It's east of me. So I'm on a road south of Lockheed, but heading east. Little west of Lockheed, but I'm heading east. And something catches my eye to the left. And this is what made it cool. It was a giant transport cargo plane. Okay. And then as I focus, and I'm driving, so I've got to, but it's right next to me, just this steep, and wow. And its landing gear are down. It's a lot of sets of wheels on the back, but I could see it, right? And then all of a sudden it goes, turns into a bank and is flying away from me and levels out with its landing gear still down. Now I'm stopped at a stoplight and I'm looking, I'm like, man, don't they normally put their landing gear up? Right behind it. Here comes another one. Turns. Right behind the other one, landing gear still down. This is cool. It's because they never took off. I just sat there at the light for about 30, 45 seconds. I just watched them just go out across the desert and then descend down and land at Edwards. They never even pulled their landing gear up. They don't give a crap. They never pulled up their landing gear. What a cool thing to observe, right? They're runway hopping. 2 of them back to back. Yeah, pretty cool. Big planes. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm watching, and I observe the landing gear. That's my mind, right? But what I'm really thinking is, what are those planes? What is so important that they would have 2 take off back to back like that, right? Just like that, not fold up the landing gear and then fly. They don't truck it over there. They don't fly it over there. They put it on a transport so it can't be seen, and then put it on. What's on the planes? I just want to know. I'm just asking. I don't know, but I bet it's really, really cool. And that's what I was thinking about at that stoplight. All right, here we go. Let's keep this going. Tonight's our AMA. Post in the chat. Post all caps in the chat. You can post over on Twitter too as well. And so that's going. I think I've Jimmy, will you have a chance? This is from Olivia. Will you have a chance to stop by CITD? No, I will be on the East Coast during CITD with the private thing that I had booked last year, and CITD just popped up a couple of months ago. And so when I got the invite, I had to say no, because I'm not going to turn around and tell something, another thing that I had booked in contracts and stuff. Yeah, you guys aren't as important as CITD. I'm going to cancel. No, that's not cool. It's not cool. So I'm just a man of my word. I'm going to follow through with it. Yes, this is the first time in 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, whatever it is, that I have not been a part of CITD, but I'm sure it's going to be a fine event. And Captain Ron and everybody that is involved over there, really, really good people. So I hope that they have a great, successful event. Okay. All right. And that is over on Twitter. That is in hashtag F2BQ. You can also post up in hashtag F2B, which is, do you miss talking with us on the phones? Kinda. And that's from Betty Joe. I have done so many nights of live shows that in the beginning, the first couple of years, I'm talking about Coast to Coast and Fade to Black. Everybody's a new caller. Everybody's new. Everybody's got something interesting to say. And after 4, 5, 6, 7 years of that, and I like, I like hearing from, some of the regulars and things, and they would call up prepared and would have something, ready to go. And then there were others that, they were just calling because we're friends and didn't really have anything and wanted me to, and after a while, I mean, for me, it kind of lost its luster just a little bit, because the excitement of a first-time caller, that's really cool. I don't know this person, and they're taking the time to call me, and they've undoubtedly have got something very interesting and personal to say. I loved that. I love that part of it. But turning it around into an AMA and our new show format, the way that we've got it going now, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm kind of digging this. Will I go back and do phones again? Maybe. I got the setup. I can do it, but I'm just enjoying this part of it much, much more. I do miss Mark from Dallas, though. I miss Mark from Dallas. Okay, let's see here. Heated Heavy 505. That's not your real name. Recommended Electric acoustic guitar. My daughter is tired of hauling two around. Depends on budget. But you can get, I mean, because if I show you my acoustic electric, okay, this is mine. Well, I've got a couple of these. This is my favorite one. Okay, this is a Strat. And you can see that's a wooden alien sticker on it right there. And so this is American made. And Acoustasonic, it's called. But this is not cheap. This is not a cheap guitar. It is, it plays wonderfully. It's got the right tone and things going on. This is about $3,000. Okay. So you can there are a lot of really good acoustics out there. Now this I have, and I have the tele version of this too as well. And the reason why is because it plays like an electric, sounds like an acoustic, and you can blend the electric pickup with the acoustic pickup, and then it's got a Fishman in here as well. And so you can blend everything together, and it sounds amazing. But it plays like an electric, sounds like an acoustic, or it sounds like an electric that plays like an acoustic. It's like both. So that's a nice guitar. But Ibanez makes some really good, inexpensive acoustics, anywhere from $500, $400, $500 up to, $800, $900 in that range, professional grade that sound great. Taylor, same thing there. You don't have to get the most expensive Taylors. You just jump down a step and get into that $500, $600 range. Excellent guitars. Yamaha, same thing there. Really, 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 really excellent acoustic guitars. Martin, same thing. Same thing. So if I was going to go purely acoustic with electric stuff on it, I would go with one of those, and probably would lean on the Taylor pretty hard. If you want an acoustic that plays like an electric, then definitely check out the Acoustasonics. When I say $3,000, that's retail price. The tele version, which I have over here, is just harder to get to. That's about $2,000. It's $1,000 less. Again, plays excellent. Same pickup setup, and everything's just shaped like a tele, and it's made in Mexico. And tremendous guitar. But I love that Strat Acoustasonic. It's just a perfect guitar. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Jimmy. Who dusts your guitars? If I showed you the truth, I'm not going to get up. I'm not going to get up and do this, but I have. I thought I had something quicker here. I have a set of dusting tools for guitars. Yeah, set of brushes that get underneath the pickups and in the machine heads and everything, and you can get in all the crevices. I got a whole set of these brushes, and I'll just go down the line, but nothing like, right, the terry cloth, and there you go. And you can see, right, that's it. Even got some grease spots on it because I do use this. And I walk down the guitars, and I just go in order. I hit all the spots, man. I just hit all the spots and kind of just get them all dusted out. And yeah, I do it constantly. These are always at the ready. And I like people when my daughter stopped by the house this weekend. And I think it was on Saturday. And so she comes by, and she's got some friends with her. And we posed in my living room. Okay, so here we are. I swear, I'm the biggest doofus when it comes to this stuff. Okay, so there we are. In my living room, right? Cool shot, right? But you see those guitars in the background? I want people, when they come in, and of course they're going to want to see the bunker and all of that stuff. I don't want my stuff dusty. No. You can't have people come in and go, dude, stuff is dusty. No. I am constantly, and I got my little things, and like they're like little flat toothbrushes. They're like flat, and you can, yeah. You know you've got it bad when you have to have tools like that. When I was a kid, you took these and you stick these under the strings and pulled it through, right? Like this. I don't have to do that anymore. Tucker canned, I know, right? Yeah, that's just crazy. Let's see here. This is Jessica. Do you know that NASA in Hebrew means to deceive? Huh. Who knew? Is that true? Is it spelled the same? Or is it pronounced NASA? Is that right? Oh my God. So over in Israel, when NASA does a launch, what do they say? The United States Space Administration. They don't say NASA, or do they? And then they just all laugh and say to deceive, just did another. Is that true? Is that really true? I don't know if I'd pop that up in Twitter, but that's interesting. No, I did not know that. I thought I'd heard a lot of things, but no. That's a good one, Jessica. Let's see who's next. We found exoplanets. We have found exomoons. Any of those planets, because we know they what? We found exoplanets. We found exomoons. Have we found? Oh. Okay, so Jonathan says, we found exoplanets. Have we found exomoons on any of those planets? Because we know they. Yeah, I can finish the line there, Jonathan. Because they help with life, right? At least ours does here for sure. Without a moon, I think that a planet would develop. Life is going to figure out a way to survive. And that's even with a tidal locked planet and things where the one side of the planet's always facing its sun, where it's always hot, and on the other side it's cooler. So you would think life would. Okay, so sunlight, shadow. You have the ring that has both. That's where your life forms, right? You have a forest, a ringed forest around the planet. But yeah, I think that life will always have a way to survive. But certainly our moon helped us. It's like a spoon always stirring up the chili. You're cooking your chili all day for your chili cook-off, and you've got to stir it all the time. That's what the moon does. It's always stirring the oceans are not in one place all the time, getting stagnant and nasty. No, that's what the moon does. So, but yes, so last week, well, that's not entirely true. I'm going to back up. So last week they did announce that they found a moon with I think it was James Webb. It might have been with Tess. But they have observed an exoplanet's moon. But that's not entirely true. I mean, look at, okay, I know we're talking about exoplanets here, but if we just talk about the planets in our solar system, they've all got moons. Every single one of them. Every one. And one of the coolest things you can do is look at Jupiter with your own telescope. And look at its moons. It's so badass. Tom Lemon was a twit. Yeah, people are going to have some. The rumors are the conspiracies are going to be out there about Tucker and Don Lemon for a while. I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. Mike O'Donnell, Jimmy, you taped a video of UAPs coming into our dimension. I did, but Mick West debunked it. Yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday night when if that's the tape that you're talking about. What did I call that? Midnight Madness in Palmdale or something like that. And I saw it again like 2 nights ago. I was sitting out back, not in the same spot in the sky. It was a little further west, a little further east. Same thing though. Bloop, lighting up and going. Bloop, lighting up and going. Bloop. Where I filmed it last time was like straight north. This from my location was like northeast of where I was at. So I was just at a little bit of an angle, maybe 15 degrees this way, 20 degrees, but doing the same thing. And I was going to tape it. And I thought, man, and then Mick West is going to ask me for the time of day. And then he's going to say that it was Starlink. And I'm going to be sad. So I just sat there and enjoyed it myself. But I think that's what you're talking about. Okay. Genocide, to by the dozens. Yes, I did. I think that night, I think that I probably caught maybe 20 on tape, 20, I don't know, maybe more. But I didn't get the end and I didn't get the beginning. It just fired with a capital F. Yeah, they were both fired. Yeah, that's still crazy. I just... Jimmy, do you watch Succession? Yes, I do. And yes, I did see Logan Roy died. Brian Cox. Now, if you haven't seen the show or if you haven't been caught up on the last 2 or 3 episodes, 2 episodes, sorry about that. I didn't mean to drop that one on you, but Logan Roy dead. Like Momo. Dead. I thought it was a Logan Roy trick. You know, that he was going to pop up later. I'm not dead. You guys tried to come after. But no. Logan Roy, dead. And now Roman and Ken are the co-CEOs. Man, that's crazy. I love that show. That show's really good. His apartment, Ken Roy, his apartment in New York, and it's gorgeous, is for sale. 29 million, I think. It's for sale right now. And so you always see the interior shots of it. It's really nice. The shots that they have now on whatever, realtor.com or whatever it's on, the same furniture. Yeah, that's it. That apartment is for sale for $29 million. Let's see. How about Yellow Jackets? I saw that. Is Yellow Jackets back for season 2? I mean, I saw season 1, final season of Succession. A lot of excellent acting happening. And Yellow Jackets is, I mean, I'm going to have to check that out because I did see Yellow Jackets popping up again, but I didn't know. I haven't heard about a season 2, but I haven't had the time to look it up. I'm watching so many things right now. I'm watching the new Kiefer Sutherland Rabbit Hole. It's pretty good. I'm in love with American Auto. If you guys haven't seen that, very funny comedy, American Auto. Man, I'm watching so many different things right now. Ted Lasso, of course. I just watched that new movie. I squeezed this in, Ghosted. Yeah. It's pretty good, actually. I know. You know, another secret agent love story, but it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Okay, I wasn't expecting a TV conversation. I have no idea what I'm watching anymore. Let's see. I should have been scrolling while I was talking. You would think that I have this down to a smoother process. I was listening to Brian Green the other night doing AMA. He's doing the same thing I'm doing. Okay, I'm scrolling through the live chat. Okay, I'm looking for my next question. Yes, I did. I'm going to comment on this really quick. Jimmy reported on cows mutilation today on Faded Black Breaking News. Now, this actually broke on Friday. What's today? Monday. Maybe it was Saturday. And I don't know what I was doing, but I was working, but I was doing something, and my phone goes bleep, and I pick it up. And I see it's a news alert. So I have a few keywords on news alerts, right? Like any cattle mutilations that happen, that's in my search words. I kid. But UFOs is one of the, and then pops up 6 cows mutilated on highway. I was like, what? And I could not believe, everybody, I could not believe that all of the catch terms from Linda Moulton Howe's reporting over the years were all in one article. Okay, so I jumped around. It's on all the news outlets. Man, I read it on CNN. I think I read it on Fox. I read it on MSNBC. Just wanted to make sure that it was real. Anyway, all of those terms. No blood. Surgical precision. No tire tracks. No footprints. Right? Butt cut out. Tongue cut out. Laser precision of the skin being peeled by. I didn't see it. I just read the article. I didn't see any pictures. But everything, the same terms that Linda has been reporting on over the years, all in one article, 6 cows. Yep. No footprints. No disturbance. No blood. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That was crazy. That was absolutely nuts. Flying Monkeys, Jimmy. If you could repeat only one meal from your recent cruise, which one? Man, I didn't have a bad meal. No, I didn't have a bad meal. The first night on the cruise, prime rib in the main restaurant, on pitch. I should have ordered 2 of those. It was incredible. All of the desserts are really good. Lobster on the second formal night was extraordinary. I'm trying to think. The sushi on the last night, that was repeatable. Yeah, that was. Yeah, maybe sushi last night in Izumi. That was pretty freaking good, actually. The ponzu sauce was amazing. Yeah, I'd say I'd repeat, but you can't do sushi like 2 nights in a row. You can't. I mean, you get, mercury buildup and other things. You need to, sushi is a once in a while special thing. You can't do it no, get your body all toxic. Okay. But yeah, they had a carne asada night. That was really, really good too, as well. Yeah. And I'm just talking about the main restaurant. Every night they had 3, 4 things, 5 things on the main menu to select from. Just everything was good. Everything was good. All the lunches were great. All the breakfasts were great. I had a couple of breakfasts in my stateroom on my balcony. And I couldn't believe free. You just order it, man. They just deliver it. 2 pots of coffee. I couldn't believe it. And it was a made to order omelet. Man, it was just like crazy. Just delivered to my cabin. Okay. So yeah, everything was good. Let's see. This is from Lisa. Lisa, how do you say your last name? Nandetti? I bet it's Nandetti. Lisa Nandetti. She says, Any good night vision sightings on the cruise? Yes. We did 2 nights of night vision. They were out there every night, but it was pretty windy. Plus, we were busy at night, having a lot of fun. But we did the first night going out. I had a couple of really cool sightings, and they were the opposite of normal. What I would say is a normal thing. 2 times, very high object, large, stopped. Now, we had about 10 pairs of night vision goggles out on the deck. I brought 2. And so we had probably a dozen pair. I brought my lasers. Everybody had lasers, and Ruben had his lasers. And so we were able to do all of that. So we were all focused on these same objects at the same time. And we all watched this thing. And it was clipping along pretty good. It was big. And it's just like right above us, and it just slowed down and stopped. Just stopped. And that happened twice, about 15 minutes apart, maybe about 15 minutes apart. But to see something just park like that, could be a satellite being positioned, sure, no question about it. But it was, pretty cool. All right. Let's take a break and let's get this in. This is Fade to Black. Tonight's our AMA. You can post in the live chat, and if you do that, do all caps for me, please. You can also post in hashtag F2B over on Twitter and also over on our Facebook radio page. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Please visit all of our sponsors. We're taking a quick break here. All of the links are below. We'll be right back. This is Jimmy Church, and I want to introduce you to Life Waves X39 Stem Cell Activation Patch, which has totally transformed my health, my sleep, brain, and my eyes. I no longer need reading glasses. X39 is a true breakthrough in regenerative science. Using light, X39's patented age reversal technology is clinically proven to signal the activation of younger stem cells, accelerating the body's natural healing process. X39 promotes restoration and rejuvenation, bringing the life-changing benefits that I've experienced. By naturally elevating a master signaling peptide in the body, X39 boosts vitality, health, and wellness, and resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. It's one patch, once a day, and you can turn back time with X39. Just go to healingworksnow.com. That's works with an X. healingworksnow.com.
Hey everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person, and guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com, and the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's going to be a night to remember. You don't want to forget this. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I want to see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.
River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black. Tonight is our AMA. Ask Me Anything. You can post your questions over hashtag F2B on Twitter. Post them up in the live chat. If you post up in the live chat, please put it in all caps. The live chat is extremely busy, and well, so is Twitter, and so is our Facebook page too as well. But I'm trying to bounce around and get everything in, and so there you go. All right, okay. Yellow Jackets is back. It's gotten crazier. Just a suggestion: don't eat dinner while you watch it. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yellow Jackets season 2, season 1. Man, it was good though. I mean, heavy acting, heavy situation that they found themselves in. Plane crash. Yeah, pretty nuts. Okay, that seemed to go on forever. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the questions again. Post all caps in the live chat. Hashtag F2B over on Twitter. And you know what? I didn't check my email tonight. Here we go. Okay, let's see. This is from Justin. Email. What is your favorite style pizza and toppings? Okay, my favorite I can't get. My favorite is classic Chicago deep dish, right? Gino's, Giordano's, Malnati's is really good too as well. That's right, Illuminati. But I can't get it here in Southern California. I have to order it frozen and have it shipped in. Very expensive. I do it from time to time, just as a special treat. So that's my favorite style of pizza. But I can't get it. My second favorite style of pizza is easier to get, but it's never the same. And that is your classic New York thin crust. You go to New York and you have it. There's nothing like it. There's a few places out here in California that make it, and I also make it myself. I have a really cool pizza pan, and I do that. But my favorite toppings, I have 2. If I just go, and I'm being very serious about this. If I just get a pizza, I'm in New York, wherever, I just want pepperoni, mushroom, and onions. That's it. That's my favorite pizza. I do like a Hawaiian pizza from time to time. I do, I like something with everything on it. I like that, green peppers and onions and black olives and sausage and ham and pepperoni and I like that too as well. Extra sauce. But no, if I'm just going to have a pizza slice that tastes like pizza, pepperoni, mushroom, onions. You can't go wrong. Friday night, my daughter, Nicole, invited me out to dinner with my mother-in-law, Evelyn, the 3 of us. And they took me to this place in North Hollywood on Friday night called Flame. Amazing, in North Hollywood. Reseda. It's in Reseda on Van Owen, called Flame Pizza. Amazing. I met Paul, the owner there, and had a great night. But wood-fired pizza, and it was incredible. Pepperoni, onions, sausage, plain pie. It was called the Richie, by the way. It was just delicious, and it's something about that because it comes down to the dough, the sauce, the prep, and you let the pizza come through instead of, being overwhelmed with a bunch of different toppings. So yeah, I know it sounds basic. Sometimes I like a little side of marinara and kind of dip it as I eat it too as well. But pepperoni, mushroom, onions. Okay, so that came in via email, and there's more. And you can certainly email me too as well. I'll try to stay on top of that tonight and keep this going. Okay. All right. What's for dinner? It's from Third Stone. Seriously, what is your favorite food or meal to cook and eat and share? Nothing better than grilled meats. Grilled meats, doesn't matter. Chicken, steak, does chicken steak. But grilled food. I like cooking Italian. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at sauces. I just am. I'm good. I'm good. Some say great. So, yeah. But no, grilling is the way to go. Grill some corn on the cob. Everything on the grill. Grill your breads, man. Yeah. Grilled is the way to go. Burgers and hot dogs on the grill. There's nothing better. Had a little dinner party here about 6 months ago. You know what we did? Sliders. Now, I had never done that before. I covered the grill. I've got pictures of it somewhere. Covered the grill with like 50 sliders. And Brad was over with Michelle. We had so much fun. And yeah, we cooked sliders. And they were so good. That was it. It was mustard, pickle, slice of cheese on a dinner roll, sliders. And we made the slider patties with a little mini coffee cup. And Brad and I were just pressing them out. It was fun. That was a good day. All right. Next up, we have, what is your theory of the agenda of these cattle mutilations? An under-discussed topic everywhere. I know. And I thought, Android, this is a great question. I thought, when I saw the headline, and then I turned around and I emailed myself like 2 or 3 of them so I wouldn't forget. I wanted to go back and read. I go over to Twitter. I was like, wow, I bet you this is blowing up. Crickets. Still crickets. I would have thought, you want a headline about UFOs? Right there. You would have thought, and that other that there would be some follow-up stuff. Maybe there will be. It was, I think it was released on a Saturday, which is an odd day for the news cycle. It's not like releasing this on a Monday or a Tuesday, like, today with Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon, and the other news of the day as well. So, yeah. And what is the agenda behind it? I mean, that's your, and I say this so often, if you're a journalist, right? If you are a journalist out there, if you work for CNN, if you work for Fox, this is a gift. This is a gift. You're given man, find out how this is getting done and why. Yeah. I mean, I would rather cattle mutilations be ET because I understand it. I understand it fully. I totally get it. I totally understand it. If cattle mutilations are being done by humans, corporations, the military, wasted youth, whatever it is, right? That's a huge story, right? If it's ET, it's not that big of a story. It's like, well, okay, of course ET would be doing that, right? Okay, but the story for a journalist is right there, and I would have thought that it would have been picked up by now. So we'll see. Maybe we'll still get some action on this. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was reading. No blood, surgical precision. Yeah. Wow. And the way that the sheriff described, I don't want to gross everybody out, so I'm not going to get into too many details here. But when they talk about how the tongue was cut out and where it was cut out and how it was cut out, it's like, how do you do that? What? No blood, no footprints, no tire tracks. These cows were just dropped off. Yeah. Crazy. Don't know. I just don't. I don't understand. Okay. Let's see. Don Bay. Jimmy, if you could monetarily appraise a UFO sighting experience, what would it be worth to you? Jimmy, if you could monetarily appraise a UFO sighting, I don't understand the question. What's the question? Like appraise a car? So you would pay somebody to appraise the value of your car? And so you want somebody to appraise the value of your UFO experience? Is that what? That's kind of a weird question. Why would I wouldn't charge for that. Email it to me. Let me check it out. I'll give you my opinion to the best of my ability. If I'm reading this right, Jimmy, if you could monetarily appraise a UFO sighting experience, what would it be worth to you with a dollar sign? I don't know. Never charge for that. I have no idea. No idea. Dan, or is it Don? Dan, put it in an email. You got my attention. You got my attention. Okay. Next up, Matt Mayfield. Jimmy, great shows lined up this week. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we have an amazing week of shows coming up next week, too, and the week after. Oh, they're all good. Every week is good. When is James Webb going to reveal Trappist as having life? Also, what is your favorite guitar amp? Man, lots of guitar questions tonight. I am going to, there's something in my bones. I can't describe it accurately enough, but there's something in my bones that says something pretty big is on the horizon. I just don't know what that is. And the reason for me to say something like that is if you go back to the last 3 or 4 years or 5 years of news cycles, not only with UFOs, but with everything, hurricanes, earthquakes, elections, everything is bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where the news today, for it to be attention grabbing, it's got to be huge. Tucker Carlson today, that's big news. But that's what it takes in today's news cycle. You just can't float stuff by anymore. So I would expect, especially after everything else that has happened with the James Webb, tomorrow night, Japan, a private company in Japan is landing a rover on Mars. A private on the moon. A private company. This has never been done before. Now, in any other year, this is the biggest news of mankind. Think about it. Think about how big of news, Sputnik was, Telstar, right? Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, Soyuz, Skylab, all of these momentous events, just one on top of another, right? What's going down tomorrow on the moon, if it's successful, is humongo. It's not big enough for news. It's not big enough for a headline. It's going to be buried. Yeah, it's crazy. So the next time around, the next thing that it is going to be big. I can just feel it. I mean, we are so acclimated now to the shock. I mean, to the shock to the system. You remember back in 2005, right? The tsunami. Do you remember that? How big of a shock to the system do you need? And that's, you look back and you go, that's where we are with the news today. It's got to be the craziest, the biggest news. It's nuts. And that's where we are. So I feel like something's about to break. I just feel it. I think that there is a lot of expectation, and I really, really believe that the man through the media has prepped us, has softened us up so much that we can just about absorb any headline now without the big freak out. Yeah. So the news of E.T., I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. No, not like it would have been 20 years ago, for sure, or 10 years ago. So, let's see what's next. Tian Juarez. Whatever happened to that underwater base off the coast of Malibu? Still there. Still there. You can go and look at it right now. Right now, go to Google Earth, go to satellite view, and just right there, Point Magoo. It's still there. I think now, I looked at it last year. I think it's like labeled UFO base. Or they had that label on it for a minute. I haven't checked. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if they have it labeled. Let's see here. Let's just go. This is how easily you can do it. Just go Malibu, California, boom, pop up, go to maps. There we go. Let's go to satellite. There we go. There's Point Magoo. Let's zoom in. And where's she at? Wow. Do they have this ghosted out now? No, there it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, it's not labeled like it was before. It had a label on it. Okay, so now what if you search underwater UFO base, Malibu, California? Okay. Yeah, sure enough. So it will take you there in the search. But there it is. Still there. Man, that's an interesting structure. That is an interesting structure. So still there. Hasn't gone anywhere. I thought for a second it was ghosted out, but it's not. It's right there. If you look up Point Magoo State Park, pop, there it is. There it is. And if you want to look, just look at, so underwater UFO base, it's right there. It's a tourist attraction, and Point Doom as a tourist attraction. Both locations pop up. So that's all you got to do. Underwater UFO base. Yeah, still there. Okay, let's see. Who is up next? Let me bounce back here to Twitter. And let's get back to the chat. Nancy Thames, what did you think about Linda Moulton Howe's video on the tall whites prediction for Earth? I didn't see. Is this new? I will. I'll check it out. I'll check if it's new. And I need a little more information on this too as well. So I'll look at it. Okay. I don't have a comment because I don't know which version. And if there was something new out, then no, I wouldn't know about it. I wouldn't have an opinion yet. So there you go. Okay. You mentioned a while back you were working on some new music. Just curious if you had any free time to finish up anything yet. I'm getting close. No, I'm not close to finishing things up. I've got about 4 or 5 things written. My drum machine, which is right here, literally, it's on its own stand. It sits next to me, and I've been getting that done and working on it. I have gone as far as to moving a bass into the studio, which is right here, in case you've never seen it. But yeah, right here, Fender P bass. a real Fender P bass. Nice color too. Fender sent this to me. So I've got this in here. And so, yes, I am tightening some stuff up. I want to get like 10 songs done. I want to get 10 things done. So I am actively working on it. Free time right now is at a very, very serious premium. It's out of control. It's out of control. I've got so many things going on. I've got a Skywatch that's coming up here in Joshua Tree with Billy Carson. That's coming up. I've got Miami. I've got the awards coming up. I've got Egypt coming up. Before that, I've got England. I've also got Bolivia, Peru. I'm going down there, Machu Picchu, with Brian Forrester, and plus into the Vortex, and there's a second TV series that is bubbling now in the background. This Thursday, I'm shooting scenes for another movie this Thursday that I just shot for last weekend to this past weekend. Just crazy. And I've got a very, very, very busy schedule, and I've got all the stuff in my head musically, and I'm just trying to get it out. So yeah, I'm working on it, and I'm also writing a book, and I'm doing that. That's it. So how do I have time to watch movies and TV? There's no secret. I don't know how I get it all done, but yeah, there you go. Okay, let's see what's next. What is next? Let's stay over here. I remember you on Coast to Coast. I remember me on Coast to Coast. Yeah, I do. I remember me on Coast to Coast. I do. Coast was a trip. Coast to Coast was a trip. And okay. Talk about when you found Art Bell, bro, please. Thank you. Okay. Coast to Coast. The one thing I never got tired of, I never got tired of doing Coast, but just like any job, when you do it over and over and over again, you get smooth and you understand the system, and it doesn't matter what you do, whatever it is, right? Okay, so it was the same thing for Coast. But every night, because I broadcast from their studios in Sherman Oaks. So I'm in the studio, man. I'm in the Coast to Coast George Norrie studio, right? It's beautiful. It's big. It's nice. It's that. Never got tired of walking in there. But here's the thing. When that music started, okay, so I have the studio clock in front of me, the tick down, 59, boom, 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 boom. I'd hear, and I would just, my hair would stand. Right, it's me. I'm hosting Coast, and I got the music coming through the cans. Dude, I just cranked it up, and I'm in. Man, I'm just, yeah. I never got tired of that. Man, I just got amped up every single night. Now, here's the other thing. So, I can't speak for the other hosts. I don't know how George did. I know how Art did it a little bit. It's been so long now, but. I don't listen to the other hosts. I just did my show my way. And so I would do a little monologue at the beginning, and I would time it. It was like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But here's the thing. You come off of that music and it's cranking in your you cannot think about who's listening. You can't think about the audience. And you can't make a mistake. You can't flub a comma, a period, a breath, a word, a syllable, a letter. No. Can't do it. And now, so what you're asking, well, then how is that possible? Oh, it's possible because I did. And I've made lots of mistakes. I'm not even close to suggesting that I was perfect. No, but you are able to, how about 5 mistakes in 10 minutes, right? No, because adrenaline takes over. There is a performance aspect to this, like Broadway or being in a band or whatever, the live newscast, whatever it is, when it's live, adrenaline takes over and your brain is ultra focused. Yeah. Yep. And that's what that music would do. That music would just laser focus me. Same thing on Fade to Black every night. All right. What was the question? Oh, talk about when you found Art Bell. That is actually a great story. And at the time, I worked for a company, still around, still a big company, called Alesis, Alesis. And at the time, I think I was the Southern California sales rep, and which meant my customers were, all the music stores, guitar centers, things like that. And I was Southwest because I covered Arizona, Nevada, and Southern California. And I went from LA all the way to San Diego, from LA out to Palm Springs. So that chunk, plus Las Vegas. And so I didn't do Reno, but I did Las Vegas. And then I did all of the state of Arizona. So that was my territory. And I was traveling. That's it. All I did was just another city every single day of the week. That's it. All right. Okay. So I'm down in San Diego, and I would do San Diego once a week. I drive down, spend the night, and then drive back the next day. And that's a long drive from LA to San Diego, especially during traffic time. So it's 3, 4, 5 hour drive. I'm listening to talk radio. And I'm coming back one night, and I would listen to whatever. I can't even remember the name of the station. It was a sports station. Jim Rome and Dan Patrick and Steve, I can't remember his last name. He's still on the air. Hacksaw Hamilton. And then, so I'm coming back and I'm listening to talk radio. I bounce off of sports and I'm listening to like AM 640, where Coast to Coast is today. I believe that's what it was. And this would have been 1993, right in there. I'm on the freeway. It's dark, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm getting closer to LA, and I'm listening to this show talking about UFOs. I don't know who Art Bell is, but that was the first night. And I'm listening. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. It might have been Art's first broadcast. I don't know. But I was listening to talk radio every single day of the week. I'm driving all over the Western United States and listening to talk radio. And I caught it. So anyway, this is what happened. I'm listening, and I'm caught up in it, man. I'm all up in it. And he might have been talking about Area 51, or maybe it was Roswell, whatever. And I could not believe what I was listening to. And I pull into my house, my condo in Sherman Oaks, and I sit in my driveway because I know it's AM radio. And if I pull into the garage, I'm going to lose it. So I'm sitting out front. And I wait for the commercial. Commercial comes on. I open up the gates. I dash in. I park my car. Running upstairs. Get into my kind of turning on the stereo. And I'm getting in. I'm like, okay. I've got no AM antenna on my stereo in my living room. No. So then... and that was it. And so the first, I was like, man, I got to figure this out. So the next day, I still don't know it's Art Bell. You got to remember, this is before the internet. I have no idea what's going on. I have no clue on anything. And so the next day, I go to like Fry's and I get an AM radio antenna. You know, they just got to plug into those two plugs on the back of the Stairway. So I buy one of those, and I buy an AM clock radio for my nightstand in my bedroom. Okay, so now I'm all set. Next night, I get the AM radio. It's dialing, man. It's cool. I've got it. It's all hooked up. It's the next night. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm in my living room, and I can't find it. I'm like, man, was that like a one-time thing? Can't find it. And I kind of give up. And I go into my bedroom and I fire up this little clock radio. And I was like, man, I go back down to my car and I'm like, okay, it's right here. It's AM 640. I go back up. It's not picking up in my living room for some reason. I go into my bedroom and it's there. I hear it. It's another show about UFOs. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, this is amazing. So I jump in bed, but it's like phasing in and out, in and out, in and out. I couldn't get it locked on. And I'm so upset with this. The next day, I returned that radio and I bought a Sony, and it was a square block, had a CD player on the top thing, but it also had speaker outputs. Okay, it was a clock radio, digital. So I take that home, plug in the AM antenna, get it, and this thing locked on. That night, crystal clear, coast to coast AM. The next day, I got speakers, and I hooked those up, had them on both ends of my bed on each nightstand with this clock radio, and I could just sit and listen to Art Bell in the dark. Yep. And that's how I discovered Art Bell. It seemed like it took about a week for me to get it all perfect. But when I had it dialed in, it was perfect. Yeah, it was absolutely perfect. And now I've told this other part of the story before. I've mentioned this on Coast to Coast and things. And is this? I'm not going to say my phone number because I still use it today for a couple of things. Okay, my phone number from back then. But so I'm in bed and I hear Art go, and the number is 818 blah 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 blah. I was like, that's my phone number, right? And I was like, and I wait. I said, did he just say my phone number? And then I listened again. It was the last number was one digit off than my home phone number. I never got any coast to coast calls at the house, and they still use that number today. But what it told me was that show was coming out of my neighborhood. And I didn't know it then. I didn't find out for a couple of more years that Coast to Coast was across the street from my house. That part I didn't know. I did not know. And probably around the year 2000, like right in there, because that was 94, 95, around the year 2000, I had a friend of mine that went to go work for Fox Sports and took me down. I was like, what? And so there used to be a Denny's on the bottom floor of the Coast to Coast building, and which I ate at all the time. They tore that Denny's out and they made it Fox Sports radio studios. So when you're driving down the road there on Sepulveda, you can look at it, Sepulveda and Van Nuys Boulevard, and you can see all those Fox Sports broadcasters, right? You can stop on the sidewalk and look in the window and see them broadcasting all around the world. They're going all the way up. There's like 6 radio studios right in a row. And that's when I found out that Coast was upstairs from there. So that's it. That's how I discovered Art Bell. Okay. Let's see. Be good to meet you in Manchester in August. Yes, Chris, I will see you. Now we're doing 2 events there. I'm going to let everybody know. We are doing an event in London prior to the Manchester. So I'll get the information up this week for everybody on that. And then the Could you hear that? That was loud. Whatever it was. I don't know what that was, and I'm not going to freak out. That was loud. That was loud. Okay, so Awakening Expo. Here we go. I'm going to give you the exact dates on this right now. And then the week before that, or a few days before that, is so Awakening is, come on, is, where's the dates? August 25th, 26th, and 27th, 2023 at the Bowlers Exposition Center right there in Manchester. So the week before that, so it would be a few days before that, I'm going to guess and say August 22nd or 23rd, we're in London. I don't have the exact venue in front of me. So we're doing 2 events there. Whatever's closer to you, Chris. If you're going to be in Manchester, I'll see you in Manchester. If you live in London, come out and see us in London. But that's coming up in August. And I'll see you there. It's going to be great. Yeah, thank you for that, man. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the big question, are you ready? Ginger or Marianne? Marianne. And why? I think Ginger was supposed to be, and I thought this when I was a little kid too as well, that Ginger was supposed to be this, I mean, I'm 5 or 6 thinking these thoughts, like she was supposed to be like sexy. She's supposed to be hot, right? And the way she talked and walked and this and her hair and things, I'm right. And that was just never really appealing to me. Mary Ann was hot. So yeah, I like Mary Ann. Mary Ann was just like cool, down to earth, and smart. I was always a Mary Ann guy. Yep. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of one of those basic questions too that people get asked these days. Coke or Pepsi? Boxers or briefs? Right? Okay. I get it. Vanilla or chocolate ice cream? Ginger or Mary Ann? What is it, man? What is it? So, and I think people expect, I don't know. Do they, Ginger, man, Ginger all the way. I don't know. What is it that people expect? But I'm just telling you the truth, straight up. I never got Ginger. Thank you, Jimmy. My name is David. Right on, David. Okay, let's keep this flowing. Let's see what we got over here. Art saying hi. That's funny. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. Susie in Boulder. Has Stephen Quell ever been a guest on Fade to Black? No, Stephen hasn't. And I don't have a real reason why, but with Stephen, if I thought that I could get Stephen focused, right? Because I don't want to talk religion. And what I have found with Stephen over the years, and he's changed, he's even gone more extreme, but he used to really have and talk at length ET, UFOs, life in the universe, and had some very interesting thoughts on ancient history, and now he'll go. And I'm making a joke here. Okay, so don't take me 100% serious. But UFO was seen today, video and filmed over Philadelphia. And I don't know if you've seen the video. The video is very interesting, by the way. And then he talks about Jesus for the next 2 hours. And that's fine for him and his audience. I'm saying that for Fade to Black, could I get Steve to talk about ancient history or Egypt or ET for 2 hours and keep the religious side out of it. Or make sure that if the religious side comes in, like with, somebody like L.A. Marzulli, that you do it in a way that interests me. I'm not worried about the audience. I'm worried. You got to keep my interest. And if it goes the other way, I zone out. I don't like zoning out. And if I zone out and I lose track of the conversation because I'm not, and that's what I don't want Steve to do. I mean, to me personally. And if it goes off that way, then it kind of reflects back into the show. So, but man, I used to be glued to Steve Quayle back in the day, for sure. But his audience and what works for him isn't the same as it was before. Let me see here. What's this, Renee? Randy Rhodes, Gibson Flying V, and Gibson Les Paul with polka dots, $15,000 each. Are those Gibson releases or what are those? Let's see here. This is funny. This is just the conversation going on in the chat. I've only got my poor Ibanez RG for $300. Dude, I've got like 5 RG $300 guitars. I love cheap RGs. And, $300, right? But I love them. That green sparkle one right there, man, $300 all day long. I love that guitar. I've got a red one over there, RG 350. It's a RG 350. You pick those up all day long, $300, $400. But if they play right, who cares? I love them. I love RGs. I love the necks. Man, I don't have any more. I only got the white one, the red one, and the green sparkle one in here. I've got some more around. I love RGs, man. Nothing wrong with them. RG 350, the 450s are cool. RG 550. I've got a few of those, and those are really nice. I also have an RG 565 that I am totally in lust with. I love that guitar. It's not in here. It's somewhere else. Okay, man, lots of guitar talk tonight. I really dig that. Let's see. Somebody asked me earlier, what's my favorite guitar amp? Marshall. Yeah. Marshall. Nothing. Correctly done. And, with the right cab and everything, nothing sounds like a Marshall. Nothing. So I love mine. It's right there. I've got a little Fender combo next to it. It's pretty cool. I've got one of the Joyo mini tube amps on my 412 slant cabinet down the hall in the rehearsal room. That thing sounds great. A little noisy, but I got the Eddie Van Halen 5150 knockoff Joyo. It's like this big little lunchbox. Tubes. It's nice. I dig that. And then in the living room, I have a hot tone. I call it a ho tone. There's only one T. So it looks like ho tone to me. Anyway, I got one of those in the living room with a little orange 110 cabinet. And that amp is about this big. Little tiny little knobs. I'm not kidding. The knobs are like this big. And you adjust it going across. And it sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, see, where are we now? Lee, should Pluto be a planet again? Yes. Pluto should be a planet again. Yes. Should have never been demoted. You can't. I mean, once you're in, you're in. Once you're a planet, you're a planet. You don't get that taken away from you. You deal with it. So it's the smallest. Okay, so there's got to be. Not everybody's a winner. Not everybody's a winner today. And you would think, so in baseball, soccer, there's no second place. Everybody gets a trophy, except the planet Pluto. I still can't believe. How is that possible? You get to planetary status, you stay there. There has to be a smallest planet. What, Mercury's going to get voted out next? It's too small, man. It's a moon. It's a moon of the sun. Just made me so angry. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Jimmy, do you have a problem with your lighting? No, my I have automatic lights here. So these lights that I'm holding my hands up, they're hooked up to my camera. You see that? They're hooked up to my camera. So as I, that's what's going on. I can turn off the automatic part of it, but during the day it's lit up a bit different in here, and at night it's different. And so keeping it on automatic is better, because right now I would have to go in and adjust the settings before the show. And that's, I can turn it off. It's not that big of a deal, but I spent a lot of money on these lights for their automatic features. And there you go. So that's what's going on. I had somebody in here this weekend, and man, you guys are just nothing but guitar talk tonight. Man, I can only do so much guitar talk. I'm loving Breaking Bad. I never watched Breaking Bad. I didn't, but Better Call Saul. Oh man, 6 seasons. If you haven't watched Better Call Saul, it's worth it. Now, I haven't watched Breaking Bad, so I can't compare the two. But man, Better Call Saul, I really enjoyed it. And I can't get into Ted Lasso for some reason. What? Man, that's the best. Okay, I'm going to tell you the problem with Ted Lasso. Seasons 1 and 2, the best one-liners, rapid-fire comedy from everybody on the set. They got so good. Now they're having to push it a little bit to get to the same rapid-fire one-liner. So it was so good. I'm writing them down. I'm like, man, I'm going to use that on the show. That was pretty good right there. I'm going to write that one down too. That's pretty good. It was that great. I'm waiting for the storyline to catch this season because it's the final season. But I really enjoyed Ted Lasso. I still am. The rapid fire one-liners are fewer and far between right now. So apparently more Texas cows being mutilated. Are you saying in addition to? What do you think about how they are getting? I don't know how they're getting mutilated. They don't know. All they said was precision cutting, and no blood. Yeah. So I don't know. Handmaid's Tale. I look. I understand that it's really, 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 really great. But I'm so far behind on so many things. In Handmaid's Tale, what are they on the 3rd, 4th season now? But I understand it's really, 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 really good. So I don't know if I'll ever get around to it. I'm waiting for Yellowstone, the second half of the season, to come in, and I understand it's going to be the last season. Only one, Jimmy. Only one. What? Did I miss the first? Look, these tweets are these are going by too fast. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, this is from Scott. Coast to Coast had some legendary call-ins. Ever have a John Teeter call in? No, I never had John Teeter call in. No, I don't even think I had a time traveler call. No, on Coast. I didn't ask for any, but no. I mean, I talked to all the regulars, but I never had somebody claim that they were a time traveler, and I would have loved for a John Teeter call. That came in on Twitter, by the way, #F2B. Highly recommend 000. Only one. Okay, you guys lost me. Hey, Jimmy, love Love your life. With all due respect. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me post this up. It's really long. Okay. I know and understand how you feel about the Lazar situation, but would you ever consider having him on? Okay. 100. No. So I'm going to have Lazar on, but by himself. I don't want any of his handlers, Jeremy Corbell. I don't want any of, anybody whispering in his ear, Jeremy Corbell. I don't want that going on. If I could have Bob on the show and we could just talk, yeah, I would do it. But there can't be any limitations put on the show. He would never do it. And the only reason why he did Rogan is because he had somebody running interference. But I think for Rogan, I don't think Rogan would do that again. It was just bad. That was really bad radio. So yeah. Let's see, Jimmy, I highly recommend Picard. I started to watch it. I watched like the first 2 episodes. And I know everybody's digging it. Let me tell you why I didn't dig it. I did watch 2 episodes. I was hoping it was going to grab me. He's too old to be the captain of a starship. He's too old. Can't pull him out of retirement. And he's got his walker with the little tennis balls on it, and coming up. Okay, I'm back. And it's just like, no. No. And so for me, I had to check out. So please, everybody, I know if you're a Star Trek fan and you're a Picard fan, and I get it. I totally get it. For me, it was too geriatric, to the geriatric aspect of it. I mean, he was just like, going onto the bridge. 15 minutes. One of his tennis balls fell off of the walker. And it's just like, man, you can't do that. You can't do that to Picard. So, all right. Everybody's loving it though. Izumi on Royal does a nice job. They do. That was spectacular. What I had, that sushi dinner on Royal Caribbean. That sushi dinner in LA, exactly how I had it there, $300. And it was like $20, $30. It was the most expensive thing you could order on their menu. Yeah, $30. Insanely great. Yeah, it's really good. Let's see, but only one. You didn't pick one. You listened to many. I don't understand. You got to be more specific. I don't even know which one I picked. Which you may know Jimmy. I was okay. All right. It's simple math. They lost $875 million in the lawsuit. They had to cut loose of his salary. Let's see. Okay. Any suggestions on a night watch starter kit? Been outside since I have moved, but need to figure out if what I have seen is a UFO or ISS. Okay. The easiest way to do that, Matt, just get a Skywatch program, Star Watch. I forget which one that I have here, but it'll tell you when the ISS is coming over, and you'll also get an alert on your phone. Beep, 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 ISS in 10 minutes, and you run outside, and there you go. You get to see it with your naked eye, and then you'll know if it's the ISS. You can also identify other satellites right here on your phone. GPS is going to tell you everything that's cruising around up in the sky above your home. So there's that. But get the best thing to do is when you get night vision, you want a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 monocular or binocular, one that has 2 or one that's a scope. But invest into one of them. If you got a couple of grand, you can get what you want. There's plenty of choices out there. If you want to jump below that, the psionics is pretty good. I have one of those. And if you want to save some money, get a psionics. And there's a digital version of it right now that is, well, they're both digital, but there's like one that mimics the tubes that I have in my Gen 2 and Gen 3 by psionics. And according to Ben Hansen, they are really, really good. And I'll see if I can get that information from Ben Hansen about that new psionics. He says it's really good. Let's see. Have you seen Stephen Greenstreet's basement office videos for the New York Post YouTube channel? No. And that's coming in from Cup Creations. No, I haven't. Is that the one that Nick Pope was on? I mean, I think that's what it's called, basement off. But anyway, no, I haven't seen any of them, so I don't have any idea. Jimmy, could you eat a whole pizza by yourself if you were in a contest? Probably. Depends on how much money's on the table. I'm just scrolling through Pizzeria Bianco from Phoenix. Let's see. We are out of time. I'm just trying to squeeze in a couple more before I have to wrap this up. Jimmy, we have mutilations here in the UK too, but it's all covered up. Yeah, I imagine it. That's why I was so surprised to see this article. I mean, now there was also another comment, and I don't know if it was in all of the articles that I read, that there are mutilations going on right now across the United States. And like, this is a multi-agency situation right now. These 6 were found along the same highway in Texas. But they mentioned something about across the United States. Now, I don't know. Well, I'm going to stay on top of this. I think it's very interesting. Jimmy, what's your most memorable paranormal experience? You know what? Man, I've seen ghosts. I've done this. I've done that. My shoes, things moving around, hallucinating, all that stuff. Yeah, okay. But I got to tell you, when the I Want to Believe poster fell down and how it broke and the thing on it, and then I turn around and the foam core is on the floor over here on the same day, that was a head scratcher. I saved the hook, the broken hook. It's thick like a credit card. That's... Unless somebody came in my home and pulled that down and broke it on purpose, then that was 100% the craziest paranormal thing ever. Really glad I didn't see it live, because that would, let's see, how much for that green Manalishi guitar behind you? Which one? Oh, you talking about the Peter Green? You talking about this one? Oh, no. You don't have that kind of dosh. But it is the green Manalishi. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that thing. He's talking about that one right there. Yeah, that thing's sweet. That's kind of green Manalishi too, but that, if there is a real one, it's that one. If you're talking about Peter Green, yeah, good eye. Jimmy, you think that nuclear war worries rising again is leaked to increased sightings? Brian, I don't believe that, and I think that we have this nuclear war threat happen every 6 months. If you go back historically, and man, think about, you remember 4 or 5 years ago when North Korea was firing those missiles, towards Hawaii, and the alarms, the air raid sirens went off in Guam or whatever, right? Hawaii. I mean, that's right there. I mean, that's crazy stuff going on. Nuclear testing in North Korea or Pakistan or wherever this stuff goes on. Right now, the saber rattling that is happening with Belarus and of course, Ukraine and Putin. This chatter happens, it's just every 6 months. If you just go back and look at history and see how that is repeated time after time. Dude, the Cuban Missile Crisis. You want to talk about a crazy nuclear situation? Think about the pressure of humanity right? Of the pressure they were under at that moment. So yeah, it happens. We're not going to have a nuclear war. I'm not worried about that. I'm not. I'm not spending my days. We all worry about it. We all do, and we all should. But am I just stopping my day? No, I'm not. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Thank you to Dennis and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2023 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Tomorrow night, right here, John Ramirez. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.